Hello, English 1020 class. The chapter that I read and did a review on was chapter 4. Pretty interesting chapter. Mostly focuses on business startup, I guess you could say, and franchising. I like this chapter. It's pretty interesting, kind of see how the franchising works and how you can become an owner of a chain franchise like McDonald's or Burger King or stuff like that. And I like how this chapter starts. He starts off small in Pueblo with the Nigerian man, kind of riding around with him, kind of seeing how it works, kind of gets a feel for the small employee life of these large franchises. And then he kind of later on talks about the franchise owner of the Little Caesars in Pueblo, Feemster, I think is his name. And he kind of gets some information from him, kind of see how it works, and that just about anyone, I guess, if they have a little bit of money they can spare, can start up a franchise if they want to, and make the right calls and stuff like that. But so, and then I like how they went through and kind of explained what franchise is. And so, since I hope you've read the chapter, the kind of some of the questions I had about franchising for you guys is, how hard do you think it would be to start up a franchise in Wyoming? And saying that, I mean, because we're a small state and there's not a lot of people here, and so I mean, maybe you could start up a large franchise and maybe get people to kind of go there because they kind of already know what it is. But I want to know what you think about starting a smaller, less well-known franchise, like independently owned one, maybe also too, to see. I want to know if you guys think it would do okay, if it would last. And the other question is, like, how do you guys feel about Schlosser at this point? Like, what are some of your feelings of how his, like, maybe, I don't know, his writing journalism style, or kind of his personality? And the one that kind of that stuck out to me was at the beginning when he was talking about how the other cities of Colorado don't really, I guess, give Pueblo any credit, or they kind of downplay it, because his sentence was, he says the snobs up north call it the asshole of Colorado. And so I'm kind of, but the other part I'm confused on is that he kind of is giving a little credit to Ray Kroc about waiting out like the franchises and becoming super rich by selling stocks and to his franchisees. And so I don't, like, for the most part, I think he doesn't like the fast food industry, but he's also kind of like giving credit to some of the founders, kind of saying like that it's pretty amazing what they did. And what I kind of am trying to say is that I think he was okay with the fast food nation before this day and age. This day and age, they all want to get rich. They don't really well, I hope they care a little bit about their food, but the higher ups, they really don't care a whole lot about, I guess, people anymore. It's kind of a harsh way to put it, but that's how it kind of is. They just care about getting richer and opening more stores and stuff. And so one more question that I kind of have on top of all of this is that, at least for me, it made me think about how some franchise owners like Feemster are good people. He pays for a little bit of his employees' tuition if they keep a good grade point average, which I thought was really cool. And so I'm wondering how you guys feel about maybe if you knew who the owner was of a fast food restaurant, if you would be, and they were a good person, if you'd be more likely to support them and go to their restaurants. And so, I guess tying this all up, three questions that I am kind of wondering on what you guys think is how difficult opening a franchise restaurant, chain restaurant in Wyoming would be, large or small. Kind of how you feel about Schlosser at this point, and if you like that last part I just talked about, if what you think about the smaller owners of these franchises. Thanks.